What's going on? It's your boy Nate be lit, because Nate really does be lit, and we're back again with another YouTube video. This one's a little bit different. I did a little trade breakdown, well, a trade breakdown slash lesson with a student of mine, and I wanted to make this video to really illustrate the fact that not all trades are going to go to your full target. Not all trades are going to go, how you want them to go. Some trades will go the way you want it to go for a certain period of time, and then you can take a little money off of it, and then obviously sometimes you might end up getting stopped out and reduce risk or whatever, right? So I made this video to show you guys the reality of trading, how trades can play out, not just show you all the wins. You guys have seen enough of those inside of my trade breakdowns, right? So I really wanted to show this one to you guys so you guys can get an insight as to what it is like working with myself and some of the trades and entries that we're able to catch and what they actually end up like at the end of them, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video.
Cool. Yeah. So obviously we had reaccumulated, we had our distribution up here, price makes it lower, shakeout, gave the manipulation, like the larger manipulation with the accum in there. And then obviously we ended up building our inside of that. We obviously had, this reaccum, price ended up breaking, create another reaccum. So this ended up being the last reaccumulation that directly causes high to get broken, right? Meaning
Yeah.
that was my reload, quote unquote. So for me, I was like, all right, cool. Can price come all the way down into the 50 down? Oh, actually, wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, we're just shy of it. That the overall 50. All right. But I thought to myself, all right, cool. I mean, we technically got the reload. The reload lines up with the 80% of this reaccumulation as well. So for me, I was like, you know what? Let me, have a look at what takes place down here when we came into the 50% of this, right? So
Yeah.
come down now, come down a bit lower. We can see obviously price came into the 50%. Now, when price did come into the 50%, maybe the 1 minute would be a bit cleaner. Okay, let me step back for a minute. Right, so that was this is the reload. I was looking at this on the minutes, right? So obviously come down to the seconds to validate if we had a schematic take place inside of here, which we did. Yeah. So we had obviously they had your redistro, price came lower. Redistro, price comes lower. Right. Then we had a larger redistro, right, where we had that shakeout.
Yeah.
And obviously price makes its way, obviously comes lower, right? So for me, what I was looking at was, I just zoom in. Where we ended up.
That looks a lot cleaner on the seconds.
Yeah,
So
on the futures, yeah, I believe we actually broke. We'd come lower than this low. That's why I was looking at. Go to the futures. Yeah, on the futures, we actually came beneath this. That's why I was even looking at this in the first place. So
yeah.
CFDs didn't actually, the CFD chart didn't actually get below this low. So I'll show you on the futures and then I'll show you the entry on the actual CFDs. So yeah, we ended up having obviously this larger Q shakeout of this high. Then we obviously came down, ended up breaking this low. If I zoom in, you can see it a bit cleaner. Notice how down here, we'd obviously broken this low. Let me move this out so you can see. Notice if I hover over the low, notice how we actually came lower. All right.
Yeah.
Over here. Right. So we actually had to come, well, actually, even with this one, this is where we first ended up breaking the low. So to me at that point, I was like, all right, cool. We've obviously broken the low. And then we had a change of character, right? Which is obviously this here. So had a change of character. Boom. Then we had, that was one drive. We had two, we had three. Then obviously the price ended up breaking the low, right? So for me, I was like, turn the volume down. So yeah, we ended up creating a final manipulation and then ended up breaking this high. At which point,
That's your accumulation.
yeah, we had the accumulation. Now it wasn't I wasn't just entering off of this accumulation just because price accumulated. Why? Because technically, if this is going to be my change of character, we would have had to had a larger retracement than this here. But the
Yeah.
fact we had this accumulation down here, and that accumulation was strong enough to break this high. We've now got cause and effect on our hands.
Yeah.
So what I did was obviously I measured from down here to up here. And obviously that's where you got your 50 and 80. And then what I did to get the more refined entry was I fibbed from down here to the high of the accumulation, right? That caused price to break this high. And that's where we got this 50% down here. So I had my entry 1 point above with my stop loss beneath this low and ended up giving me on the actual CFD was like 14 points. So now if I go over to the CFD, which is this one here, it was 14.8, was it? Yeah, here we go, 14.8 points, right? And obviously, my entry, the 5 and the 15. What is that? Oh, yes. Of course, US 500 wants to give the alert now. I was looking at a cheeky little sell after the fact that we had PPI come out a bit higher on a month to month, but obviously that would give us more reason to have some
lower.
Yes, I have some weakness.
Yeah.
Price lower today, but obviously I don't know what happened with it. But I'm done with trading. It's Friday, it's the evening. Market's going to close in a few hours. I'm just not even interested anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because we had that cause and effect, that accumulation that directly broke this previous redistro, when that to me signaled that buyers were stepping in, right? And I'm not too sure. I can't remember. Do we have volume in here on the futures? I can't remember. Not really. Didn't really have that much. We had a little spike up here where we started to see, retracements. Notice how the retracements were getting bigger as well. That was pretty interesting to see. If I zoom in a bit more, when the spike actually took place, this is when we started having, retracements. Retracements are getting bigger. Then we had that after having this accumulation. It's telling me that buyers could actually be stepping in. So at that point, I was like, all right, cool. I just have my entry off the 50 of, just move that out of the way now. Go back to the CFDs.
Yeah, that makes sense because when I was looking at it on the 1 minute, I had an alert about there.
Okay, I see.
So
you're looking at it as like a type 4.
Yeah, I was looking at it as a
1,
larger,
2,
thinking
3. Yeah, it makes sense.
literally if we got the break, I'd have been looking at the reaccumulations off of that.
I see. I mean, yeah, technically still not wrong. It's just the one I took is a little bit more aggressive, if you will, But you're technically not wrong,
After I see you post yours in the group chat, I actually looked at it slightly different. I did look into it a bit and did see we had drives and had reason for buyers.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely not wrong there, and good eye as well, bro. It was like it's definitely shaping up to be a type 4, 1, 2, 3 with that final manipulation. Obviously at this point we hadn't quite broken the high just yet. That's why you wouldn't have taken an entry off the type 4 if you were looking at it that way. But for me, that after seeing all of that, I was like, all right, cool. My target was obviously this high, and that gave me a 1 to 7 risk to reward like target. So obviously at this point, I'll come back down to the seconds quickly. Come back down to the seconds. And then I was looking to see if we had another schematic in here. I don't know if it did or not. I think the day finished and I was not even interested anymore. But obviously at this point, it was at 5:27 that I sent the chart to you guys in the bread room, right? Like inside the Telegram. So it was way ahead of time because it's at 5:27. Price was like all the way over here. This is 5:27 exactly, So all the way up here. And then obviously,
With the FTSE, with the UK 100,
Yeah.
is the time frame still the same as like the US indices, like closing times like between 8 and 9 for
No,
profit taking?
so because it's the UK stock market, the stock market opens at I mean it's 8 a.m. I believe it is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
And let me double check that. I know it's 8, but I don't know what time to close. I think it's 8 till 4, I think it is. Where you get like the most of the volume. Doesn't mean you can't trade outside of that, but it's just the most of the volume is gonna be
yeah,
so if we come over to ChatGPT,
yeah. So I was wondering whether the profit taking hours would be the same.
and then closing. Yeah, I mean, because a lot of the companies inside the UK 100, a lot of them will be, you know, in the US, there will still be, the business will still be in operation, So
Yeah.
technically, we you still can see volume outside of that time, but yeah, 8 a.m. or 4:30, that's it. Yeah, 8 a.m. to 4:30. But you can
Okay.
still get, volume outside of that, but it's just less, So
Yeah.
so yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, my bro. So yeah, after that,
We did get a reaccumulation, but it didn't come back to the 50 until like 8, 9 o'clock-ish.
yeah, so at that point I would have been systems off after that, But even if
Yeah.
you look at the entry was just
That-
ridiculous, bro.
yeah. That was bang on.
Yeah, literally. Like, bro, like ridiculous. I was with my friend actually. I don't know if you saw my Instagram post. I was with a friend. He came to the house to come and see me. And
Yeah.
yeah, like I told him about it when he got here, which was around about that 5:30 sort of mark. And he couldn't believe the entry, bro. It was ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Now target wise, what I was looking for was obviously that high that we just spoke about up here. Why was that
Yeah.
target? Because
That was the previous leg. That was my target as well.
yeah, so obviously you had your distro, price makes its way, price accumulates. If we're going to reaccumulate, then that would obviously need to be taken out, right? So
Yeah.
because of that, I was like, yeah, all right, cool. Like that's my target, 1 to 7, not too bad. At this point, obviously, I was going to go reduce risk up here. My aim was to take some money off the table at this low down here, and
Yeah.
obviously I was planning to take the rest up here, right? And then what ended up happening was I think it was, I can't remember what time it was exactly. I was obviously we at that point we was at like a 1 to 4, I think it was, or just under. Um,
Yeah. That's where I was looking at.
oh, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was looking
The
similar, but
shape out these.
yeah, I think it was by that time it was already
It was
yeah,
getting on, to be fair.
yeah,
And then,
it was already doing a sting. So I was like, yeah, let me just kind of leave it alone if that makes sense.
yeah.
But yeah, when it was getting to like what time was it? Like 9, I saw prices like up here. I was like, you know what? Let me just take a little bit of partials. I didn't take anything crazy. It was like, bro, like 20% or something. I just wanted to make sure because obviously at this point I'd gone reduced risk, right? And then
Yeah.
I think it was like 9 something. I was watching an interview, a Grant Cardone interview, and I see it when it got here. I just randomly checked. It was like 9 something, like 9:30. Oh, let me double check because it was like so I passed that around about, I think the tire had been made and it was like just after. So like 9:35, somewhere around there. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
like let me just take a little something off because obviously it was first trade of the week. And I was like, even if this trade does come back and take me out break even, if I can say, okay, cool, like if I can make something from it, it's fine, no problem, you know?
Yeah.
Because I knew I was not going to be awake for much longer after that. I was like, you know what, let me just take a little volume off. So I took a tiny little bit of volume around about here. It was at 9:35, somewhere around there. And then that was the rest of it. I was expecting because I had an alert still at this high. And I had an alert up here as well in case obviously price, came up at these points. Came up to these points, sorry, but I just hadn't at that on this occasion. And then from there, price came and stopped the rest out and break even. And this is a really good teaching point for you as well, bro. Obviously, I know you've seen it hundreds of times probably, but like not all the time is price going to go to your full target. We've taken trades together where it's gone beyond full target. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
no two opportunities in the market are identical. Do you get what I'm saying? So
No.
as long as your trades are either ending in A, where's my pen? A, calculated loss. B, now when I say calculated, I mean you've calculated your lot size before, you calculated your risk before you got on the trade, and you just simply hit stop loss. Great.
Yeah.
Risk or break even, if you will. A small win, i.e., you've gone reduced risk, you've taken some partials and prices come stopped you out, or like hitting your full target. Do you know what I mean? Which is obviously the best scenario. So
Yeah.
as long as you're hit, like all of your trades are within this, you ain't going to be blowing accounts left, right, and center, bro, because everything's controlled, everything is calculated. See where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
having that strict approach to
100%.
how you respond to the market, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly. Because, bro, as what do we say all the time? Inconsistency
yeah, you get
in inconsistency out. And
yeah,
when you have consistency in terms of you have a consistent approach towards the market, then you get a consistent,
consistent results.
yeah, consistent result from the market. Simple as that, cause and effect, you know?
Yeah.
Which is what one of the three laws of Wyckoff. So, you know,
And the law of the universe.
yeah, there we go, you know. So yeah, my bro. But outside of
Yeah.
that, obviously today we had PPI come out.
Yeah. So
Obviously,
I've been looking to see if we can get redistros.
yeah, same.
Um
So was I, to be honest.
so yeah, as
Yeah.
soon as I saw the PPI, I was like, okay. One of them went up 0.7 and the other one 0.3, was it?
Yes, yeah, something like that. Yeah. So like, and here, obviously, because I was looking, I was like, let me see what happened inside of here. And we actually did have little accumulation price come up. I don't know if it gave the shakeout. No, it didn't. Oh, this is YM in it. YM is the one that's it's the weakest, that the one that is leading on the sell side right now,
Yeah.
in my view. So for me, I was actually looking at, where was it? I had the distro. Um, that's the distro. I was just measuring to see if it actually did print a valid distro. Um, I was thinking, okay, cool. Obviously, we could break the slow, come back in, give the distro, then maybe we could get
Mhm.
something in there. Obviously, I know, yeah, we're technically still in demand, but for me, it's like PPIs come out higher again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and we know that fundamentals leads the market over anything else. So,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, cool. Let's see if I can play my hand. Am I
So
saying, yeah, go on, what you gonna say?
I was wondering on targets as well, like, so I've got similar where I've got my alerts out,
Yeah.
and I've drawn out scenarios that I'd like that I would expect to see, or what would like to see if I was
Yeah,
to entertain it. And
yeah,
I've got similar. I think I was looking like if we did get a redistro about targeting the 80% of
yeah,
this,